Hey everybody, this is Adam here, trying to answer a question that I have gotten since the beginning of this whole harmonica YouTube instructional journey. And the question, and you've probably asked it yourself, is why is your car your office? That's one version. Or why do you do blues harmonica lessons from the front seat of your car? There's actually a really good reason for that, and some of you who are watching this may know the reason, because you've been with me since, and now I want to sort of have a dissolve and a fade, since I was young and beautiful. mirror on the wall, who is the fairest of them all? No, I was a younger man back in February of 2007. I had not yet really figured out how YouTube worked. Believe it or not, back when I started on YouTube, you could not monetize your channel. You could not monetize a video. Nothing commercial was allowed. That changed a couple of months after I started. I went back later to figure it out. Anyway, early on, in my 6th video, you can go and find Blues Harmonica Secrets Revealed, Gussow .006. I think that was the one. And that was the one where, for the first time, I was in the front seat of my car. It's not this car. It was the car that I had at the time, although it actually was sort of a similar color blue, not quite as nice as this blue. And it was an old Honda, 1992 Honda Accord LX. What happened was, I had done the first half dozen videos, starting with 000 up to 005, in the bedroom of a little rental house that my relatively new bride, well, let's see. No, we'd been together for a couple of years. Married 6/5/4, June 2004. My new bride and I had here in Oxford, Mississippi. I mean, you know, it was college housing, basically, college kid. We couldn't afford anything better, and we had a kid. We had a newborn. Sean was born St. Patty's Day of 2006, so this was early 2007. It was about, I had an 11-month-old. And this was February of 2007, and my wife, as I began to do a lesson on that particular day, sort of said, "Oh, honey, you know, as we love them. Men, we love our wives, but, you know, honey," that sort of the hand up, honey, the baby is taking a nap. My little, you know, spit-bubbling 11-month-old take a nap. And I thought, what can I do? I'm in the mood to do a harmonica lesson. So I went out to the car and I had a little video cam. Now I've got an iPhone like everybody else, but I had a little video cam. I set it up on the kind of somewhere up here. I don't remember exactly where it was. And I said, well, the venue has changed. Well, you know what? Why don't I just let him tell you what he told you back then. So sit back, relax, and enjoy the brief show. Hi, this is Adam Gussow from Satan and Adam. You'll notice the venue has shifted. I'm sitting in my car outside my house. The baby needs the harmonica instructional room. So it occurred to me all of a sudden that, in the true spirit of harmonica improvisation, that what's wrong with a car? A car is a good place for a harmonica lesson. This is where I got many of my lessons, sitting next to my mentor Nat Riddles as we tooled around Norfolk and Richmond. Anyway, this is what I want to share with you today. I want to talk about the 2-hole draw. I couldn't sleep last night. I was thinking about this. So one of the fascinating things is, of course, that, you know, in the early video I didn't have my little baby boy, but now I've got, you know, he was an 11-month-old. Now he's a big, strapping 16-year-old. You know, and guys my age, or fathers with kids, with sons my age, will joke about how one day you turn around, it's like, "Dad, can I have the car keys, please?" You know, and they go from being like 10 to suddenly asking for the car keys. That's what I've got. So that sort of marks this whole YouTube adventure, which is that's why I ended up in the car. But the kid he's now on his way. That's a part of this story. Well, there you go. That's what happened, and the funny thing is, it never really stopped. And so I've done lessons from many different places on this channel and my original channel, which was originally called the Dirty South Blues Harp channel. Now it's the Modern Blues Harmonica channel for brand consistency. Right? We're all more professional now. But it turned out that front seat of the car felt right to me. It was like a portable, Hemingway talked about a movable feast, that life in Paris in the 1920s was a movable feast. Felt to me like, in thinking of Hemingway, this is not wine, this is just coffee. felt like I could drive the car wherever I want, and so I did lessons. I happened to be at a sort of weird spot on the campus of the University of Mississippi. This is not the spot that I used for many years. It's another spot, a little more remote. People discovered that spot. And why does the front seat feel like the right place for me to be doing this? By the way, let me challenge you. I think it's possible that I was the first one to do that. February 22nd, no, late February of 2007. Go back and see if you can find a video with somebody doing anything on YouTube in the front seat of a car. I mean, these days, this is where everybody, posts to TikTok and they're driving and they're telling you what they think about politics and stuff. I think I started the whole thing. I really do. I think it might be possible. Anyway, why does it feel right? Because many years ago, in the early 80s, when I was living in New York City, when I began going to jam sessions at a place called Dan Lynch, which was a blues bar on the corner of just down the sort of 13th Street and 2nd Avenue. I was one of the few people I knew in the city who had a car. I mean, there's a lot of cars in New York, but people were showing up at blues jams, for the most part, did not have cars. They were taking subways. And I had this car, and it would be parked out front. So often what would happen is we'd kind of go out in between, like, if we'd all jammed, and we'd kind of go outside and we'd lean on the car. Sometimes guys might just sit in the car. Somebody might have a beer. They might drink a little bit of beer in the car and looking out for the cops. And my teacher, Nat Riddles, I've spoken often of Nat Riddles, but Nat would come and sit in the car. And so the car just felt like my office at that point. It felt like a safe space. Seems like an overused phrase, but it was a sort of a comfortable, it was like a movable little living room. And it still feels like that. Anyway, that's long answer to a simple question. Why do you teach from the front seat of your car? Because I can. Because I started the whole thing. And because, by God, I'm going to stick to it until my cold, dead hands are with the harp up here are sort of reaching from the ground. Anyway, I'll see. I've got some interesting lessons that I'm going to be doing in the next week or so. So stay tuned. I'll see you down the line. Bye-bye.